Hi, this is Kamesh Rao here. Welcome to BBA in Rural Management. Course name Business Analytics, Unit 1, Statistics, Module 1. Objectives covered in this unit. As a result of the module spread over 30 minutes, you should be able to understand the complexity of today's managerial decisions, know the meaning of quantitative techniques, know the need of using quantitative approach to managerial decisions, appreciate the rate of statistical methods in data analysis, introduction to operational research and the various models frequently used, have a brief idea of various statistical methods, know the areas of applications of quantitative approach in business and management. Possible outcomes. By the end of this module, you should be able to appreciate the importance and benefits of numbers. Say why quantitative methods are particularly useful for managers. Understand the use of models. Describe a general approach to solving problems. Use computers for calculations. Contents that go into this module is introduction, numbers and management, meanings of quantitative techniques, types of statistical data, classification of statistical methods, various statistical techniques, areas where statistics can be used, use of computers. Introduction. Managers have many roles, but these can be summarized as analyzing and solving problems. These problems come in many forms, but they have common features. In particular, they nearly always include some numerical information. It follows that managers must understand numerical ideas and be familiar with a range of quantitative analysis. Here we consider the importance of numbers and calculations, the use of numerical information by managers and the way in which quantitative models are used to tackle. Numbers give essential information. They have the benefit of giving a clear and precise objective measure. When the temperature is 40 degrees, you know exactly how hot it is. When a bar contains 100 grams of chocolate, you know exactly how big it is, and your statement of bank account can say exactly how much money is in your account. On the other hand, when you cannot measure something, it is much more difficult to describe and understand. When you get a pain in your stomach, it is very difficult to describe the kind of pain, right? How bad it is and how it can make you feel. When you read a book, it is difficult to say how good the book is or to describe the pleasure it gave you. So the first benefit of numbers is that they give a clear measure, and a second benefit is that you can use them in calculations. Any reasoning that uses numbers is quantitative. I repeat, any reasoning that uses numbers is quantitative. Any reasoning that does not use numbers but is based on judgment and opinions is qualitative. Numbers and management. Numbers are such an integral part of our lives that it comes as no surprise that managers use quantitative reasoning to aid their decisions. They measure performance in terms of profit, return on investment, turnover and share price. To increase returns, they look at investment. I repeat, to increase returns, they look at growth, costs, profitability and sales. When considering outputs, they measure capacity, productivity and employee numbers. To assess marketing, they look at a number of customers, market share and sales. Annual accounts give a numerical review of overall performance. In reality, it is difficult to find any aspect of management and does not involve some kind of quantitative analysis. The collection of methods used for this analysis are loosely described as quantitative methods. Quantitative methods form a broad range of numerical approaches for analyzing and solving problems. You should not be surprised that managers rely on quantitative reasoning because this is a routine part of most jobs. Engineers do calculations when they design bridges. doctors prescribe measures amounts of medicines. Repeat, doctors prescribe measured amounts of medicines. Mobile phone companies monitor traffic on their network. Accountants give a quantitative view of performance. If you imagine that managers do not use formal analysis but can somehow guess how to make the right decisions using their intuition and judgment, you are very much mistaken. Here, we have to overcome the strange idea that managers instinctively know the solutions to their problems and instead show that they really make their decisions. Of course, this does not mean that managers have to do all the analysis themselves. They can get assistance from relevant experts. They can get assistance from relevant experts in the same way that they use experts in communications, information processing, accounting, law, and all other specialized areas. However, managers really do have to be aware of the analysis available, understand the underlying principles, recognize the limitations, have intelligent discussions with experts, and interpret the results. In reality, no problem is entirely quantitative, and judgment, intuition, experience, and other human skills are important. You can see in these areas such as industrial relations, negotiations, recruitment, setting strategic goals, and personal relations. But even here, managers should consider all available information before reaching their decisions. And quantitative methods often give valuable insights. Figure 1 shows the usual approach to decisions, where managers identify a problem, do quantitative and qualitative analysis, evaluate the results, make the decisions, and implement them. Usual approach to making a decision. Problem within an organization, that is how we identify a problem. The second step is quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, evaluation and assessment. This forms the analysis. Then comes decision. Managers here take the decision. Next, the other step is implementation. Managers implement their decision. This is the usual approach of making a decision. I am sure you will all agree on this. Now, let us understand the meaning of quantitative techniques, the crux of this chapter of this module. Quantitative techniques refer to the group of statistical and operational research. The quantitative approach in decision making requires that problems be defined, analyzed, and solved in a conscious, rational, systematic, and scientific manner based on data, facts, information, and logic, and not on mere whims and guesses. Beware of this point. Now, let us understand what is statistics. The word statistics can be used in a number of ways. In a plural sense, it can mean some sort of statistical data, numerical description of quantitative aspects of things. For example, statistics of an office. This includes the number of employees and separately number of men and female employees, etc. In a singular sense, statistics means all those devices of analysis and synthesis, that is, data collection, organize the data, presentation, analysis, and interpretation, by means of which statistical data are systematically collected, used to explain or describe a given phenomena. Let us now understand the types of statistical data. Statistical data can be divided into two. One is secondary data and primary data. Let's understand what is secondary data. Data that has already been collected by another organization and are available in the published form. This naturally saves a considerable time and money, right? But the data must be scrutinized properly since the original data was collected for some other purpose. For example, data published by World Bank, Reserve Bank of India, and other organizations. Primary data. When the secondary data is not available or not reliable, we need to collect original data to suit the objectives. Such data so collected is called primary data. Let's understand what is operational research. In operational research, a mathematical model to represent the situation under study is constructed. This helps to predict the performance of the system under certain controls or to determine the action or control needed to optimize performance. Now, let us classify the statistical methods. Under this classification of statistical methods, we have descriptive statistics, inductive statistics. So, let us understand what is descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. These are statistical methods which are used for rearranging, grouping and summarizing the set of data to obtain better information of facts and thereby better description of the situation that can be made. Examples: change in the consumer price index, agriculture produce yields, etc. These are depicted using different types of charts and graphs. Inductive statistics. This is concerned with the development of some criteria which can be used to derive information about the nature of the members of the entire groups. This we call population or universe. From the nature of the small portion sample, a small portion is called a sample out of a big population or universe of the given group. The specific values of the population members are called parameters. Please remember, the specific values of the population members are called parameters and that of the sample is called statistics. So, parameter is for population members and statistics is for sample. Inductive statistic includes the methods like probability and the probability distribution, sampling and sampling distribution, various methods of testing hypothesis, regression, etc. All these are advanced concepts which you will learn in the coming sessions. Statistical decision theory deals with analyzing complex business problems with alternative course of action and possible consequences. Now let us understand various statistical techniques. The various statistical techniques are briefly described here under. Measures of central tendency. When you mean measures of central tendency, let us now underline the word called central. Central is the middle on which it is pivotal and everything revolves around. For proper understanding of quantitative data, it should be classified and converted into a frequency distribution. Different methods of measuring central tendency provides us with different kinds of averages. There are three types of averages commonly used. One, mean, which is the common arithmetic average. It is computed by dividing the sum of the values of observations by the number of items observed. Now comes median. Median is the item that lies exactly halfway between the lowest and the highest value when the data is arranged in an ascending or descending order. Mode, the central value that occurs frequently. Now let us understand measures of dispersion. The measures of central tendency measure the most typical value around which values in the distribution tend to converge. However, there are always the extreme values in each distribution. These extreme values indicate the spread or the dispersion of the distribution. Measures of distribution gives the number of values which are substantially different from the mean, median and mode. The commonly used measures of dispersion are range, mean deviation and standard deviation. The other measures of direction and degree of symmetry are called measures of skewness and measures of peakedness. This is called measures of kurtosis. Other measures are correlation and regression analysis. Now, what is the advantage of quantitative approach to management? You all are tomorrow's executives. Executives at all levels in business and industry come across the problem of making decisions at every stage in their day-to-day activities, right? Quantitative techniques provide the executive with scientific basis for decision making and enhances ability to make long range plans. These long range plans are known as strategic plans, and to solve everyday problems of running a business and industry with greater efficiency and confidence. Areas where statistics can be used in management: marketing, analysis of marketing research information, statistical records for buildings and maintaining an extensive market sales forecasting. In production, production planning, control and analysis, evaluation of machine performance, quality control requirements, inventory control measures. Then finance and accounting and investment, financial forecast, forecasting the future's business on financial basis, budget preparation, financial investment decisions, selection of securities, auditing function, credit policies, credit risk and losses, personnel, that is HRD or human resources department. Labor turnover rate is of interest here. Employment trends, performance appraisal, wage rates and incentive plans. In economics, measures of gross national product and input-output analysis, determination of business cycles, long-term growth and seasonal fluctuations, comparison of market prices, cost and profit of individual firms, analysis of population, land economics, etc. Research and development, development of new product lines, optimal uses of resources and evaluation of existing products. Natural science, diagnosing the disease based on data like temperature, pulse rate, blood pressure, etc. Judging the efficacy of a particular drug for curing a certain disease, etc. Now, use of computers. These days we use extensively the computers. The use of computers has become closely associated with quantitative techniques. Computers provide the means for solving these problems, which have long been quantifiable but computationally too complex or time consuming for manual calculation. Problems that would take months to solve manually can be solved in a few months using computers. But remember, quantitative approach in decision making, however, does not totally eliminate the scope of qualitative or judgmental ability of the decision maker. That's the chapter. Let us quickly review the chapter now. This chapter introduced the idea of quantitative analysis and the use of numbers in everyday life. Numbers have two major advantages. Firstly, they give a clear and concise and objective measure of a feature. Secondly, we can use them in calculations. Business problems almost invariably have some numerical features. To deal with this, managers need some appreciation of quantitative methods. This does not mean that they have to be expert mathematicians, but they must have a basic understanding of the principles. Quantitative methods normally use symbolic models which represent real features of symbols. In particular, they use equations to describe real problems. A general approach to problem solving has 4 stages: identifying a problem, analyzing it, making decisions and implementing the results. Quantitative methods form a key part of the analysis stage. Computers do the routine arithmetic for quantitative methods using standard software, particularly spreadsheets, but still you need some feel for the calculation and results. Thank you very much. Let us meet in the next module. All the best.